Yo, we're back. Another week in the books.
Another
How you
week.
feeling?
Pretty good. I almost wanted to start us off with Fourth and Inches. That's our temporary football name. But I also don't
Yep.
I don't want to rebrand the 643 because I like the 643. I know in baseball season
Right.
comes around. And actually, once playoffs come around too, we probably will talk a little more baseball when it's
Yeah.
down to certain teams, and we'll definitely tune into the World Series, give our thoughts and updates on that. But you know, us being Cardinal fans, it's painful. So Cardinals are out of the playoffs for me. It's football season from there, and we're both out of fantasy baseball playoffs, unfortunately. So it's definitely football season. But September 24th, if you're not familiar with 643, we do it on this day. A little bit different with football. I guess you're always going to get technically an on this day for whatever date it is. Just a lot less, like you said, we were discussing earlier, baseball. There's just hundreds of things that happen. Some historical, some not, some just really cool stats that stick out. But uh, I debated saying this one. We will not get political. I promise. You don't want to hear us get political. Could gain some followers, could lose some followers. I don't know, but we'll keep it strictly sports, unless it starts taking over sports, which kind of seems like it has at some point. But anyways, on this day, September 24th, 2017, more than 200 players took a knee or sat during the national anthem in protest following comments then Donald President or President Donald Trump and former and current president, I guess. Um, so I thought that was kind of interesting. That was a pretty big thing that happened in the NFL. NFL received a ton of backlash, but a lot of players did what they felt was right. And we're kind of still at that point. I kind of wanted to bring that out too. I thought it was an important one to bring out because not much has changed since 2017. Not much has changed from the 60s, is what it seems like. But one thing that stays consistent though is football. We still got football. So not many other than the rules that have been changing in football the last few years. Um, the new kicks that they got going on, the ways that you hit the quarterbacks. Um, what's your thoughts on that? On some people say it's kind of softening up the game. Football players, I think, are kind of just like the ABS system in baseball. I think it's probably like 50-50. Some people are like, hey, if this is going to keep me more safe in football, yeah, I'm gonna take, I'm all for the route. Some people's like, no, you can't even hit the quarterback anymore without, I mean, you can't celebrate anymore. Um, so what's your thoughts?
Um, I think it's gotten a little soft, but at the same time, I mean, if you're talking about safety issues, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it is a better route,
Yeah.
because you don't want to see guys, going out with concussions and ruining
Right.
their entire lives. So, as far as
Yeah.
the celebrations go, I think that has gotten a bit soft, a
Yeah,
little bit.
and that's kind of where I was going with that. Like I'm all for like the helmet to helmet. The fines seem to be pretty massive too on that. So
Yeah,
I think that will hopefully keep some players from avoiding helmet to helmet even more. As you saw recently, Saquon Barkley got a huge fine. I think it was like 46K or something around there,
I
which
think.
isn't a lot of money for him, but it's
Yeah,
46K is a lot of money,
I
man.
think I think Kelsey also got fined recently, right?
Yeah, so Kelsey got fined for his celebration, which I'm
Yeah,
all for. Great celebration. That's where I think it's wrong. To get, I don't know, like to even get a flag thrown for that. It's just come on, like let them celebrate until
I
they're doing stuff
remember.
that's like completely like out of hand. Like okay, like maybe that, but
I remember the Randy Moss, the
mm,
moon.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or just
that was
last
good.
year with Jamison Williams when he's like humping the ground. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember that,
yeah.
but he got a huge fine and a penalty, whatever. But yeah, I mean, some stuff it's like they have the new kickoff rules, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think you just have to have it play out even for a couple of seasons, and then have votes and stuff like that. But anyways, we'll move on. Got a little off subject there, but it's all good. You want to kick us off with week 3?
Yeah, we'll go over some week 3 winners and losers for fantasy. Speaking of losers, I lost last week, unfortunately. I believe you did too.
So yeah,
So,
I like I mentioned before, I'm in 6 leagues. I won 5 out of the 6 leagues last week. The only league I didn't win was our league, and I didn't even break 90. CD Lamb was a big part of that. He dropped 0 points. So good week overall, 5 out of 6. But if I could have got a 6 out of 6 week, that would have felt pretty good.
for sure. So, some of the winners from last week, a couple of unexpected ones. I'll start up with Jonathan Taylor, though. For PPR, he put up 29.5,
Mm-hmm.
which it doesn't really surprise me because it's Jonathan Taylor. So, I mean, if he's consistently in PPR, he's probably going to put up 15 to 25.
Yeah.
I'm going to say more like 15 to like 22, 23, but he's going to have these 25, 30 point games. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor. So he's top 5 running back, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Another guy, kind of unexpected, Trey Tucker,
Yeah.
on receiver on the Raiders, had 3 touchdowns. He broke 40 points for PPR, which is really good for a receiver.
Yeah.
So with Geno Smith, I don't know Trey Tucker. He's kind of like a favorite for Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people think Brock Bowers was probably going to be his main target, and who knows? I mean, it might start changing. Trey Tucker and Brock Bowers both.
Yep.
So hopefully for me, because I got Brock Bowers in several leagues.
Yeah.
So
Same.
yeah, another guy who's taken over for Aaron Jones on the Vikings, Jordan Mason. He broke 23.6 points. I think he had 2 touchdowns. I know he for sure had 1. Yeah, I think he had 2. But he
Mhm.
finished with 116 yards, 2 touchdowns on 16 carries. So I'm kind of curious when Aaron Jones does come back. He had a hamstring, so he'll be out probably 4 or 5 weeks, something like that.
Mhm.
I wonder if he'll kind of continue as being running back 1, and then Aaron Jones play in the backfield possibly. I mean,
It's
in
definitely
his
possible.
first game taking over, he had 2
Yeah.
touchdowns, 116 yards. So
Yeah. And if you remember him last season with the 49ers, he did the exact same thing, replacing Christian
McCaffrey,
McCaffrey. He went off anytime he had the chance to. So I think he is truly talented. And if for some reason he's not on your and someone's team in your fantasy league, definitely swipe him because
yeah,
should be no reason he's on or trade for him. If you have the opportunity to trade for him, now's the time to do it before he stays consistent because uh, he's definitely could be a top 10 running back if he gets the opportunity.
yeah. No, that's speaking of the Vikings. Their defense score, I think, put up 32 points. The Bengals' offense was absolutely horrible.
Mhm.
Jake Browning, I don't know if he'll be getting another start at QB. At least I don't think he should, in my opinion. Uh, I've been hearing rumors that the Bengals should be trading for Jameis Winston. I think that'd be a
Yeah.
pretty good move, in my opinion. Anything is really better than that. So,
Yeah.
anyway, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, no, I would be surprised. Like I think they might give Browning one more chance because he did have a pretty good fill in whenever Joe Burrow first got hurt.
Right.
And if he fails this time around, then yeah, I could see him either going to their I don't even know who their third string is. Um, but also I've been hearing Russell Wilson trade rumors already too. So depending on how Jackson Dart does his this weekend, Jackson Dart will be starting for the Giants. So keep an eye out on him too. He could go in there and just start completely going off. We have no idea. He was a complete stud in college. So um, Yeah, I'm excited to see the trades already that may happen here. Some teams are already looking, starting the season 0-3. They lose the next couple games. It's a pretty good indication. You might want to start thinking trade.
Right. So I'll name off another guy that had a really good game. Tight end Hunter Henry,
Yeah.
Patriots. He had a couple touchdowns. Him
Mhm.
and Drake May have been doing pretty well. So if Hunter Henry's still available, I would definitely consider getting him.
Yep. Especially if you need a backup tight end,
Oh yeah,
or you're just hurting in the tight end position. I always try to get at least have one tight end on my bench, um, just because tight ends sometimes they get hurt more than other players. It seems like it's hard to find a consistently healthy tight end. I think Travis Kelsey is actually one of the best people for known for that, actually staying consistently healthy. Um, but yeah, Hunter Henry, Drake May, both of those guys are excellent. I doubt Drake May's out there in any leagues, but again, if he's out there, you might want to think about scooping him up at, either for drop your current starter or at least get a good backup and replace who you got, because I think he's the real deal.
yeah, I agree. Some of the losers from Week 3. I'll start out with a guy who I've been hearing trade rumors about already. Brees Hall.
Hmm.
Brees Hall did. Yeah, he didn't have a good week. He put less than 10 points, I believe. I've been hearing the Cardinals since James Conner's out for the season with the ankle.
Good one.
So
Yeah, that'd be
I
a good
know
one.
if Brees Hall gets traded, I'm sure Braylon Allen will fill in that spot at RB1 for the Jets.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be pretty good. Um, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think he had 3.78 fantasy points. And then he was actually taken out of the game for Kirk Cousins. It was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't expect
Panthers,
that.
yeah, Panthers ended up winning that game 30-0. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was
yeah,
here in
that was
Charlotte. I kind of wish I would have gone to that. I'm a big
yeah,
fan of McMillan too. I think Bryce Young and McMillan are gonna have a pretty fun season. So, um, yeah, Falcons looked. If you're a Falcons fan, I'd be a little nervous right now after seeing that performance. Um,
yeah,
I, I like Penix, but after that game, I don't really know who he is, to be honest. I thought maybe he was. I don't know. Maybe it was just a weird game for him. Hopefully, but yeah, that was rough.
yep. And then going back to the Raiders, Ashton Genty
Yeah.
didn't have the best week. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't crazy about how high he was getting drafted in fantasy draft,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's kind of like Omari and Hampton a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like with drafting, which Omari and Hampton did have a kind of a bounce back week, so he did pretty well. Gentile, third week. I think he put up less than 10 as well.
Hmm.
So as a running back, he kind of went more than that. And then, yeah, Brock Bowers, same thing. He put up 8.8 points. Kind of expect more, but at the same thing, or at the same time,
Hmm.
Trey Turner had 3 of the touchdowns. Or, excuse me, Trey Tucker, not Trey Turner.
Yeah.
And then Jake Browning. Yeah, obviously, we know what happened there. And
Yeah.
then I'll if you had something or if you had something else.
No, no. Whenever I got some players, I'll name whenever you're finished up.
Yeah, I just kind of want to go on some of the injury reports over week 3. A couple of big ones. CeeDee Lamb suffered an ankle injury. So I think he's going to be down 4 to 5 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, I think. And then Mike Evans hamstring. It's not really. It's happened in the past. Believe me.
Hmm.
So he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks. Thankfully, Chris Godwin should be back this week, making his debut. So Emeka Buka, Chris Godwin, that should at least hold up pretty well until Mike Evans comes back.
Hmm.
And then, unfortunately, Najee Harris, he suffered an Achilles injury, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. And as well as James Conner, he
Hmm.
suffered an season-ending ankle injury, and he'll be having surgery. He'll be out for the year too. So it sucks. with James Conner being out, Trey Benson will be RB1. So if for some reason he's available in one of your leagues, I would definitely get him right away.
Yeah. And falling back on your other players too, with CeeDee Lamb being out, Jake Ferguson, he had a monster week last week. I think he had like 21 points, PPR. Him and Turpin, if Turpin, he's probably
Yeah.
out there in most leagues. He's already had a pretty good season to start. A little underrated, in my opinion. Turpin's a great one to go pick up. And then also with the Bucks, with Lim losing Mike Evans, I think a little bit of a sleeper guy, if he's out there, which he's probably out there in most leagues as well, as Kate Otten. He's been known to get a lot of touchdowns in the past, so he's a big guy, big end zone guy. So keep an eye on Kate Otten too, if you do need maybe a backup tight end.
Yep.
And I'll just run through my favorite players of last week. I will say it's hard for me not to go with most of the Lions players, and I'll just mention them real quick. Jahmyr Gibbs, another great week, 21.9 points. He is him and David Montgomery both went off. David Montgomery had 28.4. So it looks like they're doing the same exact thing they were doing last season for the Lions. Two monster running backs that I just, the way that they do that's awesome. They also have Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's my favorite wide receiver from this past week. Doubling up on them. I'm combining Montgomery and Gibbs as my favorite running back, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He hit 13.7 points a week 3. I believe he did have a touchdown, which was a big touchdown, if I'm thinking right. The week before, he put up 30.2. So he's off to a great season. Great start of the season. Yeah, like you said, Hunter Henry, he would have to be my favorite tight end, putting up big numbers, 21. Vikings looking crazy. Their defense putting up over 30. Kicker. Vikings kicker is actually interesting. I don't know if he put up the most points. He did, I believe, actually. He put up, no, he didn't. Jason Myers did. But Will Richard, he put up 14. I was tuned into that game, and he's a fun kicker to watch, and I do think he is going to be one of the better kickers this fantasy season. So he's a kicker to keep an eye on if you got a crappy kicker. Will Richard, I think is how it's pronounced, Richard or Richard, REI. But and I also want to mention Caleb Williams, who's looking like a first pick. He's looking awesome. I believe right now he might be ranked number 1 in fantasy for the first 3 weeks, putting up points. Maybe him or Lamar Jackson. They're probably pretty close. But yeah, Caleb Williams, if he's still out there, if you could trade for him, I think he is legit.
Yeah, same with Rome Odunze.
Yeah,
Those
their
two.
connection. They're starting to show their true connection. Luther Burden, Mizzou's wide receiver they drafted this past season. He had a touchdown last game, so they might be finding something there. So yeah, he's starting to look good, and he can run. So anytime you got a running quarterback in fantasy, that's already helpful.
Yeah.
That's all I got for week 3. Did you have anything else for week 3?
Not week 3. If you want to kind of give a little bit of a pre-talk about week 4.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and run through the schedule real quick, and then we can do our 2 games of the week that we have chosen for our favorites. So tomorrow we got the Seahawks and Cardinals starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So that's Thursday's game. Sunday, Vikings Steelers. These are the 1:00 games. And then you got Commanders versus Falcons, Chargers versus Giants, Titans versus Texans, Eagles versus Bucks, Panthers versus Patriots, Saints versus Bills, Browns versus Lions. And then the 4 o'clock games, you got Jaguars versus 49ers, Colts versus the Rams, Bears versus the Raiders, Ravens versus Chiefs. And then your night games, you got the Packers versus the Cowboys. That's the Sunday night game. And then we got 2 games on Monday, and it's the Jets versus the Dolphins and the Bengals versus the Broncos. So some good matchups this week. Um, my favorites. You want to go first? Did you already have them?
You can go ahead. Go ahead with yours.
Yeah, so it's kind of tough. I looked at these earlier, and I do think the Eagles and Bucks. I got to put them in there because, uh, I mean, two playoff teams in my opinion. Obviously, the Eagles. Everyone's going to put the Eagles in the playoffs without even thinking about it. But the Buccaneers don't get enough credit. Baker Mayfield doesn't get enough credit. That guy is a maniac, and I'm telling you, man. Even without Mike Evans, their roster is solid. Bucky Irving, Rashad White, the rookie. How do you say his name?
Emeka Egbuka.
Egbuka. Yeah, that dude's stud. I don't
Yep.
have him in any league, unfortunately. I wish I would have drafted him. But
Yeah.
he's about to turn up even more. I got Chris Godwin coming back, so
Yeah, and then like you said, Kate Otten, you got Sterling Shepard.
yeah. And he was.
So
I saw Baker Mayfield connecting with Sterling Shepard pretty good last week. So,
yeah.
but that's going to be one of my favorite games. And then my second favorite game is actually I'm going to tune into that Colts and Rams game. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be pretty fun to watch. Um, Daniel Jones is just looking like what everybody thought he was going to look like for the Giants. And Rams are doing their thing too. So, um, Rams are, they've been known to have a pretty awesome offense these last few years. Cooper Cup, they don't even, or Cooper Cup being gone, and that's what I was going to say. They don't even have Cooper Cup, but I started that sentence backwards. Puka Nakua, um, dude's amazing, top 5. So Kyron Williams, I mean, he's going off again, so I think that'll be a pretty good game, and 2 actually really good defenses in my opinion as well.
Yeah, I agree. So my two, I mean, I'll give my two other than the Bucks Eagles game just because I'm a Tampa fan. But I'm also I'm gonna go with the Seahawks Cardinals tomorrow night. I think that's gonna be good. I'll be definitely be watching that one.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings and Steelers are gonna be interesting. They're playing in I can't remember what country they're playing in. Do you
Mm.
know?
I didn't
Yeah.
Vikings and Steelers. I didn't know they were
Yeah.
playing. Oh, it isn't. I missed that too. It's a 9:30 in the morning game.
Yeah.
They're playing at Croquet Park, which is located in Ireland.
Okay.
So they'll
Yeah.
be playing on Dublin, Ireland tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Cool. Or not tomorrow on Sunday. I mean, my apologies.
Right. Yeah, I think the Colts and Rams will be good too.
Yeah.
Especially with the Colts being 3-0. It's pretty cool.
hmm Yeah, I agree. I think
Um
it'll be a fun one.
I think
There's
I think the worst game sorry, I think the worst game this week I'm probably going to have to go with the Titans and Texans probably.
yeah, that'll be a rough one.
I think
Um,
both of them are winless. Is
I
that
think
right?
so. I think so too. Uh, but yeah, there are a couple other decent games to tune into. That Sunday evening game or afternoon game at 4. Got the Bears and the Raiders. I'm kind of just curious to see another Caleb Williams game and
Yeah.
kind of see if Genty will if he's gonna have a good game this round or not. That Ravens Chiefs game, I imagine that'll be pretty good. And then
Yeah.
it'll also be pretty cool to see the Packers and Cowboys play. With
Yeah.
Micah Parsons being up in Green Bay now, I think that'll be fun. But yeah, that's it for week 4 games. We mentioned some waiver wire pickups. Go out there and get them if you can. Keep an eye on injuries. Um, as soon as somebody gets injured, it's that next person's turn right up, and they could be, top 5 from here on out. You just never know. Jackson Dart, he's getting that start for the Giants this week. He's not in most leagues, at least I think he's out of the 6 leagues I'm in. He's only picked up in 1 league, so he's probably a waiver wire out there. Majority of leagues. If he goes off, I would pick him up immediately. I've already actually picked him up in 1 league just in case he has a good game. Keeper league of mine. So that's my lookout for lookout player of the week. I would say just keep an eye on Jackson Dart.
Yep.
But you have anything else to follow up on?
Nope.
All right. 6, 4, 3, and some 4th and inches.
Yep. See you on the week 4 recap next week. Peace out.
Peace.